Thank you, guys. Good morning, everyone. How is everyone this morning? Fantastic. It's good to see everybody this morning. Welcome to the Center of Unity. We are thrilled that you have chosen to be here with us this morning. If you're joining us online from somewhere in another city or at home, we want to say welcome also. And if you'd put a name or put your comment in there, that way we'll know you're there and celebrating this moment with us. You're present with us this morning. It's an exciting week for me personally because the kids are going back to school. After Wednesday, my house is going to be so quiet. I've been looking forward to that for about 2 months now. But it's fun. Kids are going back to school. Also this week, I read something really interesting I want to share with you. And when I read it, it was kind of like, oh my gosh, this is like a week's worth of thinking right here in this one statement. And so I was reading it, and it said, on a practical level, the Christian church as we know it is much more influenced by Plato than by Jesus. That the Christian church is much more influenced by Plato than by Jesus. That's a week's worth of thinking right there. So it goes on to say that for Plato, the body and the soul were incompatible enemies. Matter and creation and the spirit were at deep odds with one another. Yet for Jesus, there was no animosity between the body and the soul. In fact, it was actually the very heart of Jesus' healing message and the incarnation itself, because it says, Jesus, in whom the Word became flesh, he was fully human and he was fully divine, just as we are, and both the body and the spirit were operating as one. It's not about becoming a spiritual being nearly as it is much about becoming a human being. God is manifest in this physical body through the ordinary, the actual, the daily, the now. God reveals himself through everything that we see around us. Spirituality doesn't depend on education or belief near as much as it depends on our capacity for simply being present. I thought that was really good. Bob, let's start this song this morning. God of Wonders. The song is about creation, about God revealing himself in the things all around us. The sky, the lady at Starbucks, the lights up and down pipeline. I mean, everything around us, God reveals himself. Lord of all creation, of water, earth, and sky. The heavens are your tabernacle. Glory to the Lord on high. God of wonders beyond our galaxy, you are holy, holy. The universe declares your majesty. You are holy, holy, Lord of heaven and earth. Lord of heaven and earth. Early in the morning, I will celebrate the light. When I stumble in the darkness, I will call your name by night. God of wonders beyond our galaxy, you are holy, holy. The universe declares your majesty. You are holy, holy, Lord of heaven and earth. Lord of heaven and earth. Hallelujah to the Lord of heaven and earth. Hallelujah to the Lord of heaven and earth. Hallelujah to the Lord of heaven and earth.
wonders beyond our galaxy. You are holy, holy. The universe declares your majesty. You are holy, holy. God of wonders beyond our galaxy. You are holy, holy. Precious Lord, reveal your heart to me. You are holy, 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 holy.
Here we go. Good morning. I love that song. Okay, so the daily word today is holy. I discover holiness everywhere and in everyone. There are certain places I visit where the presence of God feels especially near, places that feel holy. These may include churches and other houses of worship, shrines, favorite places in nature, any destination where I become vividly aware of the divine presence is holy ground. I remember these words from the Prayer for Protection by James Dillard Freeman. Wherever I am, God is. The divine presence, I know, lives within me. It is the true essence of my life and every life. Today, my understanding expands. I discover the divine presence all around me and find holiness everywhere. Every person is a holy being. Every place is holy ground. And from Genesis 28:16, then Jacob woke from his sleep and said, surely the Lord is in this place, and I did not know it. And I forgot to say, I am Mary Salerno, and I am with the care team.
All right, let's try. All right, this one is kind of an old one, kind of an old hymn with a little bit of a mashup that kind of comes in the middle of this one. This one's for Pat. Pat really, really, really likes this one. So we're going to do this one. Y'all want to stand up? I mean, this one isn't really a hand clapper, but we'll stand up.
Come thou fount of every blessing, turn my heart to sing thy grace. Streams of mercy never ceasing, call the songs of loudest praise. Teach me some melodious sonnet, sung by flaming tongues above. Praise the mount I'm fixed upon it, mount of thy redeeming love. Hear thy raise and my Ebenezer, hither by thy help I come, and I hope by thy good pleasure safely to arrive at home. Jesus sought me when a stranger, wandering from the fold of God, here to rescue me from danger, interposed his precious love. How your kindness yet pursues me, how your mercy never fails me, till the day that death shall lose me, I will sing, oh, I will sing. Oh, to grace, how great a debtor daily I'm constrained to be. Let thy goodness, like a fetter, bind my wandering heart to thee. Prone to wander, Lord, I feel it. Prone to leave the God I love. Here's my heart, Lord, take and seal it for thy courts above.
How your kindness,
How your kindness yet pursues me, how your mercy never fails me, till the day that death shall lose me. I will sing, oh, I will sing, how your kindness yet pursues me, how your mercy never fails me, till the day that death shall lose me. I will sing, oh, I will sing. Prone to wander, Lord, I feel it. Prone to leave the God I love. Here's my heart, Lord, take and seal it for thy court above. Here's my heart, Lord, take and seal it for thy courts above.
Well, good morning, everyone. So glad to see all these beautiful faces here in the sanctuary, and also seeing in that lens of God and feeling that connection through spirit with all those who are watching us online on Facebook or on YouTube, or a special good morning to those who may watch us later this week because they're busy doing some exciting, fun thing today. We're just grateful for the many ways in which we can connect with one another. You know, many people now in this new technology age have found that they can, and perhaps it's even more comfortable to be at home, be in your PJs, drink your coffee or tea, and watch online. And while we know that that is an alternative that is going to be with us from this point forward, or at least until some new technology happens, maybe we can virtually in the future beam you in to your seat. You know, just an image of you, your best image. You don't even have to get dressed. We'll just beam you right in here, and then we can all feel together. But it is that sense of community. It is the sense of being here to support one another, to encourage one another, to celebrate with each other, and to hold each other in the light of knowing that even in the most challenging times, God's love, God's wholeness, God's presence is right there in the midst. And we're so grateful to welcome the care team back, to having the opportunity to serve you with prayer. It's always done confidentially in our prayer room, which is immediately here to my left. And I'm going to invite the care team members serving the prayer room today to come on up and just allow them to be that support for you. It's a beautiful thing. We also have an opportunity for people to fill out prayer requests. We hold those in prayer for 30 days after we receive those prayer requests. And we are just very grateful to know that we, one with another, have the opportunity to serve each other and hold each other in that sacred space.
And I know you've met Mary Salerno already. And I'm Ganera Burgess, a member of the care team. And we will be here with you at any time of need. Today, we are holding in our prayers Bill, Bill Winton and his dear wife, Charlotte. Bill is being faced with some severe physical challenges, and thus, of course, Charlotte needs support. So if you'll bow your heads with me, we'll join in prayer here. Father, Mother God, thank you so much. We know that you're right there with Bill and his medical team. The healing is within Bill. The medical team is listening to your guidance. and putting it into action. We know you're right there with them. And dear Charlotte is filled with peace and also knows that healing is within all and that all is well. Thank you, our Father, Mother, God, and so it is. Amen.
Beautiful. That's another good oldie one that we used to sing a lot here. So this morning we are returning to our series, Keys to the Kingdom, to discover the keys to living life in that flow of abundance. Jesus said in John 10 that I have come so that you may have life and have it abundantly. And a common definition that we talked about last week of the word abundance is the power to satisfy our needs and to support us in making our dreams come true in every aspect of our life. It's not just about money, it's about relationships, it's about how we share and creatively express our gifts into this world, how we vibrantly live out each day in our health and our spiritual connection with life. It's every aspect of our experience as we walk this journey. And last week, I invited you each to start this exploration of these keys with the first couple. And the first was to make a commitment. It was to make a commitment to be a giver to life. Because in truth, we can't take any of it with us when we go. Sometimes we think we're here to be a taker of life, to accumulate as much as we can. And the truth is that we really are only remembered and we are only expressing our transformative power by what we are able to give to the world. And we also began with a vision to clearly see and to write down something that we would like to see experienced or expressed in and through our lives. I invited you to look at something in the next 30 days. In truth, we always want to have a vision, whether we have it formally written down or not, about all aspects, as we just talked about. A vision of how we show up as health, a vision of how we show up in our relationships, a vision of how we share with the world the talents and the gifts that we've been given. If you haven't looked at it already, because I'm not sure if I made this clear, you always want to have it in present tense, not in the future, because if you keep visioning for something in the future, guess what? You're going to keep looking to the future, so you want to have it present day tense, you want to have it positively. A vision is not, I don't want, okay? A whole list of what I don't want isn't the best way to hold a vision. What you want to do is clearly state what it is that you are, at least in vision now, but in this material world soon, experiencing as your journey of life. You know, we talked about giving of our time to our own spiritual nourishment and connection with God. We got to do both. We spend a lot of time in the human realm. You know, it's good to take some time, however that looks for you, And we also talked about sharing of our talents. And I have a couple of options for somebody who might be of interest going, I'm not sure how to share my different talents. So if you have this talent and you'd be willing to give the time in order to bring that to being, we have a bunch of old equipment and stuff that needs to move back into circulation. So we are looking for someone who could take the time to come in and photograph it, and who has the technical skills to set up a little channel in Facebook Marketplace or out on Craigslist or some of the other places. And we're willing to either take a love offering, or if the best we can do is they come and they pick it up and they cart it out, then we're okay with that too, because we're going to talk next week about the law of circulation, and we want to keep that energy flowing. So if you have that kind of skill and time, we'd love to welcome you to do that. We also have an opportunity for some weekly office help. This doesn't require huge amounts of skill sets, but it does require you to have some consistent time to do this, to help us with filing, to help us with cutting and folding and all sorts of other tasks, making sure that these pew pockets, I guess that's what they're called, have everything that they need in them, those kinds of things. So we'd love it if that's something you could do, or perhaps you couldn't do it every week, twice a week, and somebody else could do it the other 2 weeks. There's lots of ways that this could happen. And finally, we would love to have, and you've heard about this in the announcement, but I'm just going to ask because Nana needs some help with her grandbaby in the nursery. We need some baby huggers. We've got a couple really young children in our nursery, in addition to some toddlers. And Brigitte has finally come to the awareness that, yes, it would be helpful. You don't have to worry about teaching anything or doing anything other than just playing with some beautiful grandbabies. And my I have a 3-year-old and a 3-month-old. He's just at that stage of laughing and smiling. So it will be fun if you're willing to go and do that. We also recognized, as we were preparing this vision, that none of us will ever rise higher than the vision that we hold for our lives. That's part of the reason we vision. We want to lean into and to welcome the greatest vision that we can see for ourselves from where we're standing. There will always be more. We may get to that edge, and now we, again, look to see where it is that we're being called by that divine part of ourselves into becoming more of who it is that we've come here to be. The key that we're going to look at this morning is expanding our own awareness, to build a new awareness. Because sometimes in order to step into the vision that we're being given, we have to also show up in an expanded way. We have to know how we can activate this vision that we're holding. There was a story about this young couple who moved into a house, and as they were eating breakfast the morning after they got there, the young wife looked out the window at the neighbor's wash hanging on the line in the backyard and said, "Boy, this woman sure doesn't know how to do laundry. They must have not have shown her how to use soap and bleach, because it was very dingy. It looked just drab and dingy hanging there on the line." And week after week, she would look out the window each week as the woman hung her laundry and just say, somebody needs to talk to her and tell her, how you properly wash things. And then one morning she woke up and she looked out the window, and the laundry was pristine. It was bright, shiny white, the sheets blowing in the wind. There was a little sparkle off of them. And she said, great, finally somebody talked to her and helped her understand how to correctly clean her laundry. And her husband, who had not said a word all these weeks of his wife's commenting, looked at her and he said, "No, I got up this morning and I cleaned the window out of our kitchen." And so sometimes it is with our lives. What we see as we watch what's happening out around us depends upon the clarity of the window that we're looking through. We all have a personal belief system, a set of convictions that we hold, a set of beliefs about how the world is supposed to operate and the way it's supposed to unfold, that color our perception of reality, at least at times. Whether we are aware of it or not, we all operate on certain basic assumptions that we have adopted about ourselves, about others, and about the nature of life. Now, it's interesting that if you asked a lot of people, most people don't believe that their beliefs color the lens of life. Rather, they see it as the truth of life itself, similar to this young woman. And in order to live in this flow of abundance, it calls us to clean, at least as much as we can, the lens of our own window from which we're exploring and looking out and engaging in life around. We seldom question our beliefs because we're not even aware that that's a belief that's separate from ourselves. We talked about this a lot in our last series, that what we believe and what we feel, there is an independent us. There is an independent I that is having those things, but we are not those things specifically. When we unconsciously just accept those as the truth about life, the thoughts that we have and the experiences that we have will often then reconfirm those beliefs for us. And then our feelings and our emotions all seem to follow the same thread of whatever that belief is that we're holding. In Unity, we would call this our third principle, which is often labeled as the law of mind action. It says that it is by the way of our thinking and feeling and believing and expressing that we experience life, that we are indeed, in many ways, co-creators, at least of what we get to experience in this life. Jesus said it like this. He said, "For I tell you that whatever you ask for in prayer," which is, what is prayer? Our thoughts, our feelings, our beliefs. Believe that you will receive it, and you will. It is that creative nature, the things that we place and hold our attention and our beliefs and our feeling nature around, is what gets created into our, at least, experience of life. So here's what it might look like. Here's a common limiting belief. The good things in life are not available to me. Perhaps you heard that as a child. We can't afford that. That's not part of our value system here. And when we have that belief, and oftentimes it's going to be unconsciously, the thoughts that get generated from that is, things don't ever work out for me. I must not deserve the good things in life. Other people, have all the luck. Or, this was one that I'm aware of from my upbringing with a father as a minister, spiritual people are not supposed to want or need, material things. Or that's not spiritual to have certain things to want to be a part of our life experience. It oftentimes will generate feelings of unworthiness or envy or fear as a result of those. And then we'll see it, if we pay attention, patterned in our thoughts. We might say to people, "See, things never work out for me. Those people have all the luck. I could never afford such a thing. That's not possible, given my circumstances." And then, because we are in that energy, that is the flow that we're moving through. We may underperform at work. We may withhold or grasp onto things that we do consider to be the limited good in our life. We might react fearfully before something's even happened because that's the belief that we hold, that that's what's going to come to pass. Now, the good news is that we don't have to try and waste a lot of our time. We don't all have to go to therapy, although it's not necessarily unhelpful at times when we're navigating things in our world. But we don't have to know every unconscious belief that we might be holding. What we do have to do is pay attention to how life is unfolding, and when it's moving in a direction that we would prefer it not go, we have to begin to at least counteract those with understanding and embracing a different kind of truth. We have to begin to infill with new thoughts, new ways to see, a clearer window from which to understand and approach life. Positive change requires tapping into our own inner power. It requires us knowing that there is inner power within us, a greater awareness that we can move and step into life in a different way. Jesus reminds us that if you stick with this, living what I tell you, if you follow the example that I've given you, you are my disciples for sure. And then you will experience for yourselves the truth, and the truth will set you free. Everyone who travels this inner spiritual path will eventually discover the same fundamental realities of life. Truth, by definition, is universal and it's absolute. The facts may change, but the truth remains the same. So in this series, David Owen Ritz, who was the author of this class initially of Keys to the Kingdom, he offers 7 truths of abundance. And I want to share those with you today and see if you can't just pay attention to how these resonate with you, whether you go absolutely yes or I'm not so sure about that one. And that may be where you want to spend a little time. The first truth is this, that God is the one and only source of our good. We talked about this a little bit last week. While much of the world believes that our good depends upon people and places and things and circumstances, the masters have always known that God is the source, and all of these outer things are merely channels through which God's good flows. So in order to live this truth, we have to continually remind ourselves to look to and to depend upon God as our source. It's not always easy to do, but it is one of those truths that will set you free. The second truth is that abundance is a here and now reality. It is an integral part. We cannot distance ourselves from it. We can only block it, ignore it, and believe that it isn't present, but it's always here. And we often overlook it because we confuse the facts of whatever might be happening in our life with the truth. The facts are that there may be times where we temporarily experience lack or limitation. The facts change. The truth remains the same. You know, we talk about light often. Light is a greater universal reality. It is everywhere present. And yet, you can only experience darkness by blocking out the light. Light is real, it is enduring, while darkness is not. We can experience both of them, but only one has the essence of an enduring truth. You can measure the speed of light. You can measure how light operates in the world. You can't measure darkness. Darkness you only know when it is the absence of life. You can't turn on darkness. Well, we can with our thoughts, but not in a physical way. The only way you experience darkness is when you block out the light. So to live this truth, we have to affirm the presence of God's abundance as a here and now reality. Despite whatever appearances there might be to the contrary, we are here to know and to believe and to live in this state of God's abundance. The third is that this abundance is inexhaustible. It's not limited. There isn't only so much to go around. And if other people get lots of abundance, then we can't have hardly any. Because abundance is not found in forms in the visible world. Abundance is not material. Abundance is the movement, is the energy, is the expression of spirit. It is the movement of the unformed into the formed of how we get to have that experience of it. It is ceaseless, it's endless, and it is always moving through us at whatever levels we will allow it to nourish us. So we have to begin to remember that this energy of abundance is inexhaustible, that the flow of good through my life cannot diminish the flow of good through everyone else's life, or vice versa. Truth number 4 is that God is meeting your every need according to your own acceptance. This may be one that's a little bit hard to grapple with sometimes, especially if you're moving through a difficult challenge. That God is meeting your every need according to your willingness, your openness, your acceptance. God has already given you the gift of infinite possibilities. It's already present, and you alone decide how much you can contain. So whenever it's feeling like there isn't enough, I just would encourage you to ask yourself, what's my container looking like at the moment? Is it a thimble, a bucket, a swimming pool, or an ocean? God's in all of them. So to live this truth, we have to practice giving ourselves to life fully, knowing that we can't diminish the flow of good in our lives. So here's another one. Everyone deserves abundance. Do you believe that? Everyone deserves abundance. A universe of infinite possibilities has more than enough good to go around. Know that your good, when it is attained through spiritual understanding and a pure heart, can never detract from the good of others. So in order to live this truth, we have to learn to love ourselves completely and wholly and unconditionally as God loves us, because that's where the flow's coming through. Number 6 is that your vision is your inner awareness of your naturally abundant self. Whatever vision, the highest vision that we can hold for ourselves in this moment, is a reflection of the amount of abundance we can see flowing through our lives. And again, I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about good in all of its forms. Your vision is your personal insight into your own unique highest possibilities. And as you step to the edge of the light as far as you can see in this moment, as you go to that edge, then you begin to see further. And you need only accept the highest vision that you can have for yourself right now to discover how truly great you can be. Because as soon as you get to that edge again, there will be more to be revealed. And in order to live this, and this is the part that usually people kind of stumble over, is you need to be willing to risk your personal greatness. You need to step outside of whatever that comfort zone is that you've created in your life and be able to risk this opportunity to express your own personal greatness. And finally, your inner guidance will lead you towards the fulfillment of your vision. You don't have to know how. There is a part of you that already knows how, but you don't have to right now consciously, mentally, intellectually know how this is going to unfold. That's usually, for me, the part that wants to be satisfied first. Yeah, I'll step into that when I know how it's all going to unfold. When I know exactly what the result's going to be, then I'll step into it. You have access to the cosmic wisdom within you. And the time and the intention, and this is the part about really being willing to give your time to your own spiritual understanding and awareness, the time that you invest in that, whether it's a daily visioning process, prayers, meditation, time in nature, whatever it is that allows that to bubble up from your unconscious into your conscious minds, it will support, it will be the guidance, it will be those God thoughts and God ideas to help you move to experience that. And in order to live this truth, you have to recognize that the fulfillment of your vision is a natural process, and it is under divine direction. You don't have to do it all yourself or even have a clue, except to know that you're being guided, and you will continue to be guided. So we're going to start and take just a moment here to have a little time of meditation, to lean into this, to see if we can't step a little closer to whatever that edge is of the light that we can see now, and affirm our own awareness of these truths of life's abundance. I'm going to share with you an affirmative prayer for awareness that comes out of the Keys to the Kingdom workbook. And for those of you who might have an interest in using this, if this resonates with you, I've made a few copies. They're out there at the welcome desk. You can pick one up, because this is something that you have to work with more than once, or at least that's how it's been in my experience. So as you just get comfortable where you are, you might want to close your eyes just to allow all that outer distraction to be out of your immediate visual awareness. Allow yourself just to breathe into this moment, knowing that there's nothing else and nowhere else that you need to be except for fully present, right here and right now. And as I speak this prayer, I just invite you to see if you can't allow your heart to grow larger and more open to receive these words down to the very core of your being. Allow my words to become your words, silently affirmed in mind and heart, in body and spirit. God is the one and only source of good in my life. My abundance flows through many channels, and one infinite and loving source is behind them all. Abundance is a reality in my life. It is a reality in the world around me. My good is not some thing to be received in a future time or place. It is right here. I am surrounded by and immersed in God's lavish abundance. The flow of abundance through my life is inexhaustible. Spirit is continually meeting my needs in countless seen and unseen ways. I choose to live in the flow, sharing and giving generously, and accepting gratefully. Circumstances and conditions do not have the power to limit me, nor do people, places, or things. Spirit is continuously meeting my needs according to my own acceptance. Right now, I open to accept more by giving myself fully to life and trusting in God above all else. Take a deep breath. I deserve to lead an abundant life. Everyone does. There is always enough to go around. The vision that I hold for my life is the true self that God is calling me to become. I am willing to embrace my destiny, and with the power, wisdom, and guidance of God within me, my success is assured. And so it is. Amen. And you can slowly begin to bring your attention back to this time and space. And whenever you're ready, can open your eyes. So, as we focus this week on building a new awareness of our own abundant nature, as we focus on allowing that flow of abundance to move in and through our lives in a greater way, I invite you to also take this in as a practice this week. In addition to really focusing on and holding in mind and heart your vision, pay attention to how you're expressing your I am. You know, we've talked about this in the past. I am is the name that we ascribe to God. And so whenever we're saying, I am so sick, I'm tired, I am not worthy, I'm not enough, I can't do it, we are describing not only our nature, but God's nature. And we want to simply not beat ourselves up because we've now noticed that we're using our I am in vain. That's what I call using God's name in vain. But we just want to affirm, take one of these truths and affirm, I am enough. I have God's abundance flowing through my life, whatever it might be. We have to start to infill with a new way of not only understanding ourselves, but understanding how God works in, through, and as us. And remember and affirm these spiritual truths as you continue to live and to live into the vision that you hold for yourself. Bless you this week as we feel that sense of abundance moving in and through our lives. And we have Anthony here today. And Anthony, you were going to do an introduction. Okay, I see you.
Good man, Anthony. Grab yourself a microphone. So anyway, we have little gatherings at our place, and we had a mutual friend, Anthony and I have a mutual friend that had a gathering at our place last night, and everybody had a great time. They were all performers, and Anthony was one of them. And I've met up with Anthony a few times, and he's consistent. He's always smiling. He's always loving. He's always hugging. He's always full of affection. He's always connected with spirit. And he's always attempting to connect with God in his best way possible. And he does this every day. I mean, he's hardworking, good, just appreciative. And I just wanted him to come. I just threw this church a curveball and asked him to come and share some of his goodness with you. So he's going to perform a song that he's created, and I'd like for you to hear our message from Mr. Anthony Similar. Thank you. Appreciate it, Anthony. Take care.
Thank you so much.
Enjoy.
Thanks, Stephen. Yeah, so this song, thanks for having me here. This is a great spot. It's written about God in somewhat the style of Rumi, how God was Rumi's lover. He would write these poems. So if you're not paying close attention, you'd think I might be talking about a lover, but I'm talking about my journey to finding God, forgetting my connection with God, finding God again, trying to find God through all these other ways, other channels, and all the while it all circles right back to the source, to the one. So you can go ahead and hit it.
Now that I found you, I finally. Now that I found you, I finally know what love means. Where in the world, where were you hiding right in front of me? Open my eyes, I'm recognizing I have everything. You're all I need. You're all I need. You're all I need. Oh.
Feel free to stand up and sway and just move, hands to the sky, and just just really feel that message. You're all I need. God, you're all I need. Mother, Father, you're all I need.
Tried to create my way without you. Oh, I was so confused. Tried to create my way, but oh, it all led me back to you. You're all I need, you're all I need. 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 Oh, I tried to find another way. Oh, I tried. It was all in vain. Oh, I tried to find another path. Oh, you took me back. You're all I need. 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 You're all I need.
All together.
You're all I need. You're all I need. You're all I need.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much. That was beautiful. Yeah, glad you're here. I'm going to take that one. Very well. Put that one over here for whoever's up next. Well, it is our opportunity now to share of our abundance with the Center of Unity. We are so grateful, and we continue to be open to the flow of good as it moves in and through our lives. And, you know, again, money is one of those ways, and it's an important way, but we also could not do the work that we do without the volunteers who step in to serve so many roles in this community, as well as those who continue to give of their gifts in time and in energy and in visioning and holding that vision with us as we move forward. So let us take what we're offering today into our hands, into our hearts. Those who are giving online, you can go to centerofunity.org and give there, or also just hold that energy with us. Sometimes we may not have anything physical in it, especially if we give electronically, but if we just know that money is energy like everything else, we can feel that energy moving in and through. And let's bless it together. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, Father, Mother God. And the ushers are going to start inviting you to come up row by row, and you can place your gift in the large basket and take an affirmation to support you this week.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. My name is Matthew Sweat. I'm on the board of directors. And if you're watching us for the first time, we're glad you have chosen to join us. We invite you to visit our website and fill out the Connect card. And if you're local, we invite you to come visit us in person. If you're visiting us for the first time in person, please complete a visitor card found in the pew pocket in front of you or at the visitor desk in the lobby and drop it in the box at the back of the sanctuary on your way out. So today, for our appreciation, we continue to envision full enrollment in our Montessori program. We wouldn't be where we are without the help of our former director and lead teacher, Rachel Ames. Rachel consulted with us on what we needed to order, came and set up our classroom, and spent time here for our open houses. We are blessed to have her assisting us, and so to Rachel, we love you, we bless you, we truly appreciate you, and we behold the Christ in you. Namaste.
Here's what's coming up at Center of Unity. As our church is expanding, we're looking for new ways to serve our community. We'd love to hear your ideas. Please contact Phyllis Lamfett at phyllislamfett@gmail.com or Mary Salerno at 817-938-3117. A care team member will once again be in the prayer room after service for 15 minutes to support you in prayer. The 40th annual birthday banquet will be on Friday, October 14th at the church. Tickets are $35 each and available in the bookstore. We need lots of help, so please sign up at the Info Center or from the COU website or app to help. August is National Peach Month. In celebration, the Corked Group will enjoy a cool salad and peach potluck in Fellowship Hall following church on August 21st. Afterwards, we'll play bingo. Please bring a salad or something peachy and something affordable to contribute to the prize table. Please RSVP to Barbara Luters by August 15th. The birthday banquet auction will be live this year. We ask that you start gathering auction-worthy items. Do you have or know anyone who has a timeshare or vacation home they're willing to donate for a week? Or what about an activity such as an escape room or a private dinner for 4 to 8 people? The ideas are endless. Please see Mary Salerno for more details. Join us for a powerful healing event this Labor Day weekend as author and psychic medium Jennifer Farmer brings the spirit world closer to you. Tickets are $35 per person with advance registration or $40 at the door. Advance registration is recommended. Visit the COU website or app for more info. We have a variety of online classes available each week. Visit centerofunity.org for more info. There are multiple ways you can make a donation to Center of Unity. You can drop your donation off at the church, mail it to our P.O. Box, visit our website, or use the COU or Venmo app. Your continued support is greatly appreciated.
All right, do we have our children back there? I think I see them coming through the door. I see maybe... Yeah, they're there. Let's try it, Bob.
Yes.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Here we go.
Good morning, everybody. Okay, so we are on. We have 2 more wet and messy Sundays left in the series, and then next month we start Dr. Seuss, the Gospel of Dr. Seuss. But today they had a lot of fun, and they're going to let. Let's see. Sharon said she'd share this morning, and her friend Bella.
Today we learned about how God has a shield around us. It is called a love shield, and it is around us at all times.
Today we learned about God has a love shield and praying in the morning to activate the love shield.
And also, just wanted to put it out there that Brigada really needs a baby huggers in the nursery, just one Sunday a month, because there's a lot of babies back there right now. So, all right, thank you.
All right, why don't we all stand up together and let's do our peace song.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as our Father, family all are we. Let me walk with my family in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moments now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
And so, as we go into this day, into this week, knowing that we live in unlimited abundance, we go knowing our prayer for protection together. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Have a beautiful week, everyone.